All right, good morning, everybody. So this week we will start off just like we usually do with the countdown, and then from there we'll jump into the welcome. So Dana will welcome us, and we'll jump right into Lord, I Need You. So verse 1 will be Dana will come in on the first chorus, staying into verse 2 in the second chorus, and then the bridge will go out. So teach my song to rise to you. And then we'll come back in on that chorus. So even after Jesus, you are my hope and stay, and it will kind of build back into that chorus, and then we'll be in until the end of the song. And then from there, we will jump into the scripture reading. And so going from D to A will make a good transition, Kim. And so however you'd like to transition us is good with me, whatever works best for you to get ready for 1,000 names. So this is a song that we introduced at the end of service last week, so just know that. But last week we started back on the chorus, but we're just going to play the song straight this week. And so it's pretty wordy, so just really, it's going to be hard to learn all those words, especially in the bridge. But anyway, so just kind of, listen through it at least more than once. But verse 1 we'll come in on the first chorus together. Chorus 2 we're staying in, verse 2 we're staying in, chorus 2 we're staying in. And then it does the instrumentals. The first bridge, so bridge 1, we can be out. We'll come in on You're the Second Adam, which is the start of bridge 2, and then just staying in until the end of the song there. But yeah, so even though this is a little bit more like a fast-paced, upbeat song, especially the bridge, it's really, really well written. And so, yeah, I'm excited to lead it again. And then from there, we'll jump into Jesus, We Love You. I'm not going to put a crossfade on 1,000 names into Jesus, We Love You, because the count in for Jesus, We Love You is so fast. So I'm just not going to put it on there because I just want to make sure that there is plenty of time to establish like the key of B, since Trina would start singing before anything starts playing. So I want to make sure that I can establish that key for her. But Jesus, We Love You, verse 1 and pre-chorus will be Trina. Will come in on the first chorus, staying into verse 2, second pre-chorus, chorus. We're not going to go out again until bridge 1A. And it'll go through that a few times, our affection, our devotion, poured out on the feet of Jesus. And just saying out until the drums come in and it hits that minor chord of our affection, and it gets a little bit bigger. And then we'll be in until the end of the song. So yeah, and then from there we will go down, continuing in Ephesians. When we come back up, we'll get ready for Here's My Heart. And so chorus 1 will just be Emily, and then we'll come back in on the repeat of that, staying in through the verses. Really, the next time we would go out on this song would be after like it does the Here's My Heart, Here's My Life, and then when it goes all the way back to verse 1, which is 'cause I am found, before it goes into like it does verse 1, verse 2, and then the bridge, that portion of everything, I want that first verse to just be Emily. Speak what is true, speak what is true, speak what is true. And then it kind of just hangs out there for a second, because I am found. And then when it kind of goes back to that one again, that'll just be Emily. Then we'll come back in on verse 2, and then staying in through that bridge, and we'll be in until the end of the song. Because something's like always added to that song, if you have any questions about like when to come in, we can cover that again on Sunday. But yeah, and then from there, Emily, what we would do is just go back to, I think what would be cool, like all the way through verse 1, verse 2, and bridge, and not go back into that chorus because we just would have sang that chorus a lot. And so I don't think it'll feel weird because it'll still be really chill. So we would go back to out of that offertory. Because I am found, I am yours. And you would just do, verse 1, verse 2, bridge. And just kind of like letting You're All I Have, You're Everything just kind of resolve. Because that's how we would end it. You're all I have, you're everything. And maybe just bringing that melody down. If you still want to keep it up, everything. Whatever you feel like works to resolve that, that's what we'll do, and then we just won't go back into the chorus. That's kind of the plan for that. So vocals, that is it. Band, this is where you will start the video. The biggest thing I want to talk through is 1,000 names, but before we get into that, usual countdown of everything, how we'll get into service will be the same, and Dana will lead us into Lord, I Need You. Doing that song like the track, it's in D, so just take note of that, the usual female key that we lead it in. And then we'll jump into our scripture reading. Kim, you play whatever you need to do to get ready for 1,000 names. And if you would just rather not like play behind the scripture reading, that's totally fine, and we can talk to Timothy about like just swelling behind it. So, I mean, you can let me know now, or you can let me know on Sunday. Either one, it's totally fine. But on 1,000 names, this really goes for if you're looking at the chord chart. The song itself is way more simpler than what the chart looks like. So if you're looking at the chart, if you go down and you look at chorus 3, that is really what like the chord structure is doing the whole time. So where it just starts on the F sharp minor, goes to the E sus, the A over C sharp, and the D. That's what it's doing in the instrumentals. That's what it's doing on the verses and the choruses. So the only thing is that it always, though, does hit that, and I am lost, the A to the B minor, A over C sharp to the D. That part does happen. But other than that, the chorus and all that progression, you don't like all the extra stuff that's in there, the D over F sharp, the F sharp minor, A over E, E sus. Like there's just so much that's like it's trying to hit to where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's so much in there. But what the song's doing is a lot more simpler than that. So just take note of that. Because like for me, I'm just gonna be doing, I know you by 1,000 names, 2, 4, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's kind of like pushed in there, but it's the chord chart is not exactly right. There's just so much extra stuff in there that really is not necessary. And so again, if you look at chorus 3, right, it has half of that chorus in there. Chorus 4, that's also what you could look at as well to know how things should really be played. But if you have any questions on that, if I can try to explain that a little bit better, let me know. Obviously, we'll go over it. The bridge of everything, the bridge is completely right as far as how things fall. But for the intros / instrumentals, the verses, the choruses, they all basically just do F sharp minor, E sus, A over C sharp to the D, and it just keeps doing that, minus when you have the third line of the chorus, which is an I am lost in wonder. It does do the A, B minor, A over C sharp, and D, but there's not a bunch of like extra little notes or chords in there, so that's good. I don't want to just like overly explain that because it could probably become even more confusing. Just let me know if you have any questions, please, and I can talk you through it. But we're not going to put a crossfade on 1,000 names into Jesus We Love You because the count-in just starts. There's nothing going on. So I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to get us into the key of B. So just know that there's no crossfade, and I will get us into the key of B, and we'll start that, and Trina will lead us in that. We're not going to change anything. I'm going to play it very straightforward. From there, we'll go down, and then when we come back up, we'll get ready for Here's My Heart. Doing this song like the track as well. What we're going to do after, we'll from the offertory like until the end. We'll play the song, offertory will happen. Then I just want us to do verse 1, verse 2, bridge, and we'll just leave it. And I plan for us to just kind of like leave that B sus, B kind of just like hanging. And I told Emily to resolve that how she needs. So we may need to end up playing a different note or chord at the end of that. But we're not going to go back into the chorus because we just would have sang that a lot. So just know that the offertory time would be verse 1, verse 2, and the bridge. And then we would be done. So that is it, y'all. If you have any questions, let me know.